Hey guys, it's just me and Frank today. We are chatting about all the things that come with making big moves. I'm Lauren Leon.
And I am the man who will fight for your honor.
We are a married couple learning how to develop our own intuition. And this is episode 74 of Clairvoyaging. Wayfeather Media presents Clairvoyaging.
Oh, my sweet puppies.
I'm going to have that song in my head.
It's another
all
one.
Day.
It's another one. Another one. Another one. Oh boy. How's it going, guys?
Hey, friends. We've got a little different episode today. We don't have a guest because we've got a lot of things going on in our lives. And
well,
we're doing big moves.
Let's not make it sound like we don't have anything. We've got content on backlog here, but it's just time for a check-in. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we're at right now is check-in time.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about the potential of our move. My mom was listening to our podcast and she's like, you guys are moving?
Right.
Yes. Sorry, Mom. Which brings me to my first point.
Is your first point that we talk to our listeners more than our own family?
That could be it. But also, I'm realizing all the things that I'm not committing to, or that I've been like hesitating to commit to, because part of this, okay, so we're talking about our move because we're sharing our journey. This has all been a journey. This podcast we're taking you along with us for this ride and all the things that we're experiencing along the way. And I've been realizing that there's certain things when it comes to like, oh, this solidifies the decision. The more I talk about it, or the more like the more things that I say. For example, our son's preschool, I was like, oh, is it time to tell them? Like,
tell the preschool that we're moving.
Yeah, we're moving in a month. And every little step along the way, I'm like, oh, this is triggering my fears and my
oh no, you're doing stuff and you're like, suddenly you're like, oh no, there's no take backs.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really interesting.
You'd think Lauren and I talk to each other more. We talk to each other nonstop, but we do save things for the podcast sometimes. Literally a few minutes ago, Lauren started talking to me about probably this. And I said, save it.
Yeah. Save it. Go write it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I'm realizing that I do, or that this particular situation has been bringing up for me. And it's like this, okay, well, if I do this next thing, that solidifies it even further, which I know I'm going to do, but it's like this one, like releasing one thing at a time. And that's my like fear. It's all fear of the unknown, fear of making the wrong choice. Yeah.
In preparation for this episode, I pulled 3 tarot cards.
Did you?
And this very much, don't look at my notes. And this very much relates to the first card I pulled.
Okay.
Let's talk about the reverse Ace of Pentacles real quick.
Okay.
You know, as usual, we source Dr. Elliot Adam for our, also known as Elliot Oracle, because of his positive spin on the cards. And my distillation that it came down to was the note that I wrote down here, which is procrastination is the hurdle to manifestation.
Procrastination is the hurdle.
Well, I mean, it's a hurdle to manifestation.
Absolutely.
Shall I explain?
Yeah, go on.
Think about this. All the things that, okay, let's not just talk about the move, but obviously we're talking about this in context to the move.
Well, and I'm hoping that like our situation is relatable for anyone looking to make a change, because it is scary, and that's the whole conversation.
Today's secret topic is making changes.
Yeah.
And like what it's about, especially when it's something that we want. So when it comes to this, like specifically what I'm talking about is, when there's something that we've spent so much time in the woo-woo community talking about manifesting our wants and manifesting our needs and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it actually starts happening, we have the gall to get like a nervous tummy ache about it.
Yeah.
Like literally, like what the hell? How are we ever going to manifest stuff? How are we ever going to make big changes in our lives that we've been setting up? We've talked on the show about needing to make space. If we know what we want, we don't know how we're going to get there for manifesting things.
Mm-hmm.
But then we make space for it, right?
Yeah.
And then what now? The thing is here, and the thing comes, and we're going to be nervous about it.
Yeah.
So, and that's the other thing. We've started pulling tarot cards with our kids, which is actually very funny because it works just as well. I don't. We always say, okay, ask your spirit guides and pull a card.
Yeah.
And then we pull a card and we're like, oh, holy shit. It worked. That's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah. Like, oh, that fully relates to what you're talking about. Yeah. And they each have their own deck, by the way.
Yeah.
Jean has a pink
of course
one,
she does.
and it has like a couple of keywords on it. And then Lyndon we got him the cheapest deck because he's 3 years old and he throws cards around on like everywhere.
I think I bought it from Temu pre-tariff and before I started to try to make more purchases.
I swear it was like $1.50.
Yeah, it's a good deck, actually.
It's fine.
It's lighter weight. It just has anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen. Don't shop at Temu.
We were all pulling tarot cards the other day. We were like, let's do this. Jean was super into it.
So she pulled, and this is completely related to what you're saying. Again,
yeah.
She pulled the Six of Swords reversed.
Right.
And the big thing with that is that just because something is uncomfortable doesn't mean it's the wrong thing to do all the time.
Totally.
And that it could just mean that growing and changing is sometimes a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
And you have to think about that in context of like manifesting and making big moves for yourself, or big moves like literally like we are. Is that like just because it's going to be a little uncomfortable doesn't mean it's the wrong thing to do. You just got to get into that zone of like, all right. Okay, for example, maybe this isn't the best example, but when I was having a lot of anxiety, I didn't have the tools to work with it, and I didn't want to go on an anti-anxiety medication.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, and I finally decided, well, I'm miserable now. Like, what am I going to do? Like, be a different kind of miserable? Trying something new is better than trying nothing.
Yeah.
So, or trying something new is better than like just staying in the misery that you're comfortable with, right?
Yes.
You can find comfort in misery. What the hell is that all about?
Yeah.
So, the thing, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to, as far as the medication goes, I'm going to treat my body like a beaker. And like this, Neil deGrasse Tyson once said that like he doesn't do like psychedelics and stuff because he says our brains already hardly work, He's like, I don't want to throw in another like, variable.
Yeah.
But same thing, if something's not working, it's time to like embrace the variable. And it's time to like allow for spontaneous, unplanned change sometimes, even if it's or plan to change and to be okay with it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to account for every single thing that happens along the way. And the journey is part of the fun and like a big part of where growth happens.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is that, well, when you're talking about the procrastination and like getting to manifesting and then going like, oh, we're almost there, but wait, I think there's like, maybe this is just me, but there's a little bit of control there of like, wait, hold on. Everything is okay. Now it's moving too fast, which is part of, like why I think I'm releasing one thing at a time as far as putting my stake in this sand or whatever the saying is.
Well, hold on. No, let's figure out what the saying is because it's not that. What do you mean?
My stake in the they're putting a stake in the ground, and I just Googled it because I couldn't think of the term. And it's making a firm commitment. And that's why I've been slowly like doing one thing at a time, because there is some kind of like, it's like, I don't want to lose all control of everything, or like, I've told too many things at once and now it's a runaway train or something.
But isn't the train running in the direction that you want it?
Absolutely.
So is this you bottlenecking for control?
Yes.
Bottlenecking for control.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe that should be the name of the episode.
I mean, that's what I'm realizing that I'm doing.
It keeps you out of the flow, though, the flow state of like going and rolling with the punches and seeing what's next and stuff.
It's not something that I want to be doing. It's something that I've realized that I am doing. So I'm like, okay, I got to now it's time to be in the flow and make more moves and make more firm commitments. This is unearthing like more trauma. There's something to like uprooting yourself, and I mean, your root chakra is where your safety and security and belonging is. And this house is the place I've lived the longest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all these things are coming up through this change, which I'm also embracing. And I was just talking to our friend Emily Bolsick,
friend of the show,
yesterday, and she was saying, when she moved, which she moved like a year ago, it helped her to just embrace whatever came up, and she was like, just allow whatever feelings come up, because that is healing on its own. And I really liked that tip, because I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever I feel, it's coming up. Maybe I'm being triggered for a reason, or I'm being triggered because it's something from my past. It's triggering my root chakra. And I'm like, whoa, I feel uncomfortable in this discomfort, but not that it's a bad thing, just that it's a different thing that I haven't experienced for a while. We've never moved with our kids, and that's like a whole new experience.
It is kind of interesting because it makes me wonder if, when you have an upheaval, when you have a large upheaval, even if it's something that you were planning for, if it's eliminating your false sense of security, right? You hold on to like the false sense of security. You're gripping so tight to like just the idea of this is where I'm comfortable.
Yes.
Where where in reality you should be comfortable as you anywhere you go, especially if you're coming with your support system, your human support system. Right.
But we just talked recently when we were talking to Bana Wynn. Remember, we brought up how I have this feeling of like, it's almost a constant state of, unless I'm at my house with my family, there's this feeling of like, oof, I don't belong here, or like I'm forcing myself to feel at ease in certain situations because I'm always telling myself that I don't belong, which I'm trying to reverse and work on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I've stayed in a job that wasn't right for way too long. I stayed in a relationship that wasn't right for way too long, because when you get comfortable okay, this might not be right for me, but I know what it feels like. You get comfortable in that. And then to make a change, like you said, and dive into the unknown can be so much scarier than staying in what you know, even if it's not the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like so many people stay in something because they're comfortable, but not necessarily because they are happy.
Can I offer a perspective?
Absolutely.
This relates to the other card I pulled.
Great. Perfect.
This is really divine.
This is a divinely ordered conversation.
Let's talk about justice reversed.
Okay.
Okay. The justice card is the justice card no matter what, right? It's about like life, like karma and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But in it, there's something to, and this isn't something I read. It made me think of it right now in this context. And that is like during big moments in your life where you're like making big changes or making big moves or doing something that, you know, shaking things up a little bit. There is you're maybe missing that thing that you're normally comfortable in, even if that thing you were comfortable in is not a good thing, like, you know, not good for you. Everyone's heard the phrase "life's not fair." I effing hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that phrase.
I don't like that. I don't like that phrase.
But now there's a thing to it though, because things happen that aren't always fair.
Yeah.
Right. For example, you might be wondering, you're making a big change, and the thing that's going to make you procrastinate, Ace of Pentacles reversed, the thing that's going to make you procrastinate is the concern that maybe you are making a change into something worse, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
always the concern. What if it's worse than this?
But nothing, you know, if we're here on a spiritual level to learn and grow, nothing is worse than not giving yourself a situation to grow in. You might, in your case, it might be beneficial to find comfort in the challenge. Maybe the challenge itself is you're like, oh, I'm in growth space. Like this is something I'm having a hard time with right now, and something I'm not sure of, and the future is undefined, and I can't see past this date, or I can't see past this event. Right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm in uncharted territory. This is growth space. This is where the magic happens.
Right.
This is where the magic happens. This is back to your body is a beaker conversation.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, wow, this is very fun. Now there's no wrong or right. And things that happen from this point on, if something goes wrong, it's probably not my fault because I've done all the thinking that I'm going to do, all the pre-planning. You know, I'm not suggesting you go out there and be irresponsible. But
wait, you just mentioned where the magic happens. I just pulled like 2 days ago, the Two of Swords, which is.
You did.
The magic comes in the in-between.
And I said, finally, you got it, not me.
Frank's always getting that one.
The magic comes in the in-between.
Yeah.
That's the growth space, right? So yeah, sure, life might not be fair all the time, but when life's not fair, what it's doing is presenting you a challenge. And without those challenges, how the hell are you going to grow?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that makes you stronger. That's the thing that makes you better. That's the thing that shows you, if nothing, what you don't want.
Right.
Right. So like you can't take blame or feel bad when you roll the dice, it doesn't land in your favor. You just pick up and you shift directions again. You say, okay, it wasn't that. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever, unless you're playing like Russian roulette, nothing is ever so final that you can't make an adjustment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's like a big lesson that I have learned over time and am currently learning now. And I think part of it is, you know,
everyone learns this. There's maybe that guy in high school who you're like, God, you're so cool. Like nothing phases you.
Yeah.
You know, he guarantee you he's living under a bridge right now and it's okay. but you know, those people where you're like, oh, wow, you really are unfazed by like a devastating upheaval.
Yeah.
Like that person was always meant to be an archetype. Right.
Yeah.
And you just have to embrace some of that vibe.
The vibe.
The archetype vibe.
I think part of it too is like the stakes are higher because we have kids and we're going, you're going to change schools and you're going to live in a different area. And part of that is me projecting onto my kids going, are you going to be okay? Not that I would say that to them in their face, but my brain is going, they're going to be fine, right? Because that's my own fear going like, am I making the right choice for them? Or 15 years from now, are they going to look back on that move that we made that they were like, I resent you for that?
Yeah. That's when everything went wrong.
Moving to beautiful San Diego.
Yeah. No.
How dare you?
Well, what happened to you? Why'd you come to the meeting today? Well, when I was 7, my parents moved to an extremely gentrified, beautiful town. That's when it all went wrong.
And they prepared me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for the whole thing.
And my parents talked about it so much. They made me so
pull
comfortable.
tarot cards.
Well, we'll see about that.
I know. Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, the projecting is a thing, and also that's you projecting on that's shadow work right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you did grow up in a situation where nothing felt quite comfortable, nothing felt quite safe. You had moments of safety, moments of comfort, periods, short ones, but on the whole, you didn't know.
Well, that's my early childhood.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you're projecting onto our early childhood kids. Right? Things
became well established and very comfortable for many years by the time I turned like 5, 6. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, our kids are in the sweet spot. They're 3 and 7. So.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm like,
we're in that window.
My babies, are you okay? When I'm also talking to my inner baby.
Yeah.
Saying, are you okay, Lauren?
Yeah. You don't want them to grow up like feeling like they've had the rug pulled out from under them.
Yeah. So
to put a period in the kid conversation.
Uh-huh.
And as you've spoken to people about this as well, because Lauren's checked in, she's very concerned about this. Kids are adaptable. And like, it's not like we're moving, there's kids that grow up in military families and they're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine. I mean, they're okay. They're great. And that's like, you just adapt and there's new conditions and everyone's always living under the conditions they live in right now. And they will grow up and they will want something different. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But this is one move, man.
Mm-hmm. It's also just kind of an important part of adapting.
Yeah.
There is something to kind of pushing your kids a little bit with a little bit of, it's not even adversity, but
no, it's
a change that helps them grow in a way.
The beaker.
Like,
we have to make sure for ourselves and for them that we show that there's this magic portal of change where that is a cool place to be and that you learn from it and you grow in it and you move forward.
Yeah.
It's a cool place to be. Otherwise, everything's too scary and you never make any changes.
So I have a question.
The doctor is in.
What? Wait, you're the doctor?
Yeah, I guess.
No, I was going to become the doctor for a second.
Okay, doctor me.
Is this bringing up anything for you? Or are you just like, cool, adventure time? Adventure time. It's how our 3-year-old says stuff. We went to Islands last night and he went, it's Islands time.
He came out of the bathroom the day before that and he was like, I'm back, baby. I don't know where he's learning this shit. It's not from me. It's very funny.
It's not from anyone. He is such a character. Anyway.
Is it bringing up stuff for me? Yeah. I don't know how to define it as clearly as you have. Mine, there's always 2 narratives going on in my head, and it's the one where I know exactly what to tell myself and I'm listening to that version. And then I know exactly what someone who is full of doubt, it's almost like a imaginary third party. Someone who's casting doubt on a move is also saying, and I just live in the center. And I wake up in the morning and I'm somewhere on that spectrum. And I have to forcefully get myself into the right mental space sometimes. So the perspectives are, dude, all the stuff that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
This is a magical time. We've done as much planning and making the situation comfortable for our kids as much as possible. I'm worried about the kids too, of course. And then there's another half saying, you live in a beautiful town right now. What are you looking for? Oh, the grass is always greener, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And I'm like,
there is that voice too.
And then you're so, you have a podcast, you're talking about your spirituality all the time. Well, shouldn't you just be comfortable where you are? And it's like, dude, shut the front door, man. So suck a bag of trash, Frank. But then I'm also on the other side. So Yeah, I mean, that's all there. But the one thing that I'll give myself credit for is that regardless of what's going on in my head, I'm still driving forward.
Yeah.
Like I'm not looking to slow down. I'm looking to make all my plans, move forward. And I hear those voices.
Yeah.
But I'm still going. In my mind, by moving forward and having my actions prefer the better half of me, the better side of the argument that it will win, and then eventually the other guy's just going to go away.
Yeah.
Meditation is good.
He'll start talking about something else, I'm sure, but
he always has. He always has.
What I keep remembering when I go back to that doubt of like, why do you think you're so much better than, like, who do you think you are moving away? You're like, this town is so bad or whatever. What I remember is that it's a beautiful town.
It's a beautiful town. And
adorable school.
Adorable school. Some really great people here.
Yeah. We live by this beautiful mountain. There's a lot of amazing things that people come here for.
Yeah. This is some people's Shangri-La.
However,
I hate that word. Do you hate Shangri-La?
I don't think I've put much thought into that word.
Shangri-La? I don't even know what it is.
It's like an ideal place to be, isn't it?
I don't know the etymology.
Well, while we're looking up.
No, I made you lose your point. Don't lose your point.
No, I remember it. Shangri-La.
We need a researcher.
Yeah, a fictional, remote, beautiful, and idyllic place, often used to describe a utopia or a paradise.
It's from a James Hilton's Lost Horizon.
This is some people's Shangri-La. It's true. However, we've lived here for 12 years now, and we've kind of outgrown we've like, it feels very boxed in, and I feel like we've done what we can with this place, and now it's time to try something else, because the boredom and isolation that we feel, I feel like we'll just continue to get worse if we stayed.
Yeah, well, then you settle in. It's again, you're just settling into, we're trying to make a move before we get too comfortable with the discomfort. I stayed at a job once for 8 years. And
Me too.
And I didn't like it, but I kept hoping it would be better. and it was such a thing where like I kept hoping that it was going to get better, and I kept doing extra work. I kept putting in extra work to try and make it better.
Yeah.
And
for a while it would be better, and you'd be like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Yeah. And same with my job, where it's like, this is fine. And then it would be like, oh no, this is terrible. This is very toxic. This is horrible. And then it would be fine again.
You can make little pockets of better conditions in whatever discomfort you're experiencing, but nothing will ever really change the context, right?
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, I'm trying to speak in generalities. I hope this is working. I hope this isn't just a big episode of me talking about moving. But you get what I mean? Like, there's a pocket, right? There's a pocket in your discomfort where there's a pocket of your that you've made comfortable in the discomfort. You're okay with this level of discomfort.
Yeah.
But what if it's better? What if it is greener over there? And back to our procrastination. Let's say it is a job or a relationship. What are you doing? Get on Grindr.
Oh my God.
He's out there. Okay?
He's waiting for you.
Check out Zillow. It might be better. Open up Indeed. You know what? Don't go in. If you're here, maybe not Indeed, but maybe
Hinged.
I don't.
Hinge.
Well, she's pretending like she doesn't have 3 accounts on there. Get real.
Unhinged.
You're on Unhinged.
Yes, I'm creating my own I'm creating my own app. It's called Unhinged, and it's where I find people like me.
And sign up for my account on Only Farts. It's good.
Oh no.
Why did another fart joke ends the podcast?
And we're done.
No.
Yeah. No, but yes, you can speak in generalities. However, like, I think the idea of moving past something it's scary, and also necessary. It's been relatable my entire life. So, yeah. What's the third card that you pulled?
That's it.
You lied to
the
me.
third one was the one that Gene pulled the other night. But you know what I'd like to do?
Okay.
I'd like to grab my deck. I'll be right back.
Oh. Unstructured time. You know what's funny? What's so funny about my and Frank's style is that he is so much more structured than I am. So he always wants a plan. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, did you write anything for our episode? No. And then I write it 30 seconds before we start recording. And I say, that's good. And Frank, if he is in charge, he is writing a full script. So this is funny because he's going off script right now and grabbing his tarot deck.
You see him going off script?
Yeah.
We never have a script.
Well, when you have an episode that is just your episode.
Oh, I got to script the hell out of it. I don't know. That's my brain.
I know. I said we're very different.
I have the Tarot Original 1909 deck here. Who releases this? It's not the big size. I got tiny little powerful hands, but they are tiny. This is made by Los Scarabeo. I don't know. They make other stuff too. And I have Elliot Adams' book. Of course, I bought this. This is not sponsored.
It's called Fearless Tarot.
Fearless Tarot. That's right. You can't see. Fearless Tarot by Elliot Adams. How to give a positive reading in any situation. Dare to pull any card. So let's see.
He really is fantastic at making a positive spin on any card. Even last night, he was like, "This is the bleakest card in the deck."
What do you want to ask right now? How about, everyone's always talking about the collective this, the collective that. First of all, I believe there are many collectives. Second of all, I think we're a collective. I think
our podcasts and listeners.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
So this is for our collective.
Yeah.
If you're hearing this today, this is for us. And it's about doing that thing that we're afraid to do, but we kind of know we need to, and making sure we don't make it harder than it needs to be.
Okay.
So, and what is it? What are we looking at? Oh, how beautiful is that?
The Ace of Cups.
You got it?
Upright.
Are you going to pull up Elliot?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to reference the book. Well, you pull up.
But it's kind of more fun if we... Oops.
Through the magic of editing, we'll make this fast.
Yeah, so this is what we do. We pull a card, and this is fun because we're giving you a true example of how we pull tarot cards. We don't know all the cards at all. But Elliot does.
Crank it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam with today's card of the day, which is the Ace of Cups. Now,
I
like
love him.
all aces, this card represents giving birth to new conditions or new experiences in your life. And because it's a cups card, it usually indicates that there's a renewal in the realm of emotions or feelings for you at this time. The Ace of Cups, simply put, represents love. And you can see how love is being offered as a gift by this divine hand coming from the cloud. It's overflowing. And you can also see the dove, which represents spirit far above the cup, which is also causing the cup to overflow and replenish the pond below. The pond represents you and your source. And so sometimes this card comes up when it's time for you to renew yourself by plugging into what makes your spirit feel renewed, by plugging into what makes you feel the most love and the most joy. So when this card is coming up, it's really telling you to let love be the answer. To read a lot more? Or
How about that?
Look at that.
You cut off his own plug.
To read a lot more or to schedule a session with Elliot, visit elliotoracle.com.
That's actually exactly it. All right, so I opened the book. I didn't read anything, but it made me remember one more thing here. When you are moving forward authentically and with your best intentions, you cannot be afraid of flexing your own power to make change, right? And it's going to be uncomfortable, but that's where we grow. And also, there's no option other than to move forward through your life guided by your own principles and what you're about. So if you're doing anything but that, you're probably kind of like that weird discomfort comfortable where you need to make a change. So let that discomfort be the guide that you reference. Let it be your compass that you reference for which direction to move in. The last thing you want to do is be comfortable all the time. We're here to learn. We're here to grow, make some changes, and use your principles to fucking do the thing, man. Do it.
Make the big moves.
Make the big move.
It's moving time.
It's moving time.
It's actually not for another month at least, but we are in moving time.
Yeah.
Do the thing. Make the moves. We love you.
We love you.
And we did it all for the glory of love.
Octave.
Stars.
Wish us luck. Thank you for listening. Visit clairvoyaging.com for merchandise or to access free resources to help you on your spiritual journey. Subscribe to our Patreon for more content or join for free to chat with us. Clairvoyaging is a fiscally sponsored project of Fractured Atlas, a 501c3 charity. Make a tax-deductible donation to support our mission to foster understanding, respect, and curiosity for diverse spiritual belief systems. Clairvoyaging is a production of Wayfeather Media.